It has been the most unbelievable football season 2020, and if Richmond is a religion, Dustin Martin is the Messiah. Hello everyone, my name's D and welcome to my recap of my predictions from the 2020 season. Now, as a Richmond fan, I've been blessed the last few years to be able to watch a successful side carry out their third premiership inside 4 years. So today, let's go through the predictions after we know now that Richmond are officially a dynasty. First of all, as a Richmond man with 2 premiership pins over the last couple of years, I'd like to think we're going to win again. It's going to be a weird year for everyone. There is so much crap going on. I think Richmond are going to win again. We don't know what's going to be happening in 6, 7, 8, 9 months down the track when we get this grand final. So I'm hoping the Tigers are winning because I think they've got the best team to do it, but which they've proven over the last couple of years, but we'll wait and see, I guess. So I did pick the Tigers winning the flag. That was great news for me. So off to a good start. But who did I think was also going to make the grand final? Personally, I think they're going to beat Collingwood in this year's grand final. I feel like Collingwood were very close last year and they should get themselves back into the grand final this year. So I think it's going to be a big grand final, possibly in front of no one, but we'll wait and see. There's the first X of the day. I had the Pies being the runners-up of this year's premiership. They ended up finishing, 8th in the regular season and then getting belted by eventual grand finalists, the Cats, in the second week of the finals. So, a little disappointed with that pick, but still not bad. So the next prediction is all about when will we see the crowds return to football. Obviously, we knew at the start of the year we weren't going to have crowds for quite some time due to, this global pandemic that's been going on. So let's see how I fared in predicting when the crowds would be back. I think somewhere between mid to late July, but I'm actually going to say the first game that we will see crowds at, let's go with Friday the 31st of August. No, the 31st of July. I feel like that'll be that Friday night game with the first time people will be allowed back at the football. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there might not even be football on in the end of July. Geez, so I was well and truly off the money with this one. I think I went a lot later than it eventuated. Technically, the first game with crowds back was on June 13th. So I was about 6 weeks too late. And that was at the Showdown where there was just 2,000 fans allowed in to the Adelaide Oval to watch that game. But it's been, I guess, a relatively okay year in terms of getting people to the football, given it has been such a weird circumstance and so many of the games have been up in Queensland. But got to make some bold predictions, but across there. The next thing, a more traditional prediction, is the Brownlow medal winner. This one, again, going to be interesting because you only need to be good. Do you need to be good for less games or better for more games? Because it's going to be more competitive in a shorter time frame with the 17-week season. I expect Marcus Bontempelli to win the Brownlow medal. I think the Dogs are primed for a really good year. I think they'll be in the top 4, and I think Bontempelli will propel his side into there. I mean, did you see him in the preseason? He looked pretty good. I know it's preseason, but he looked very good. He wasn't that good in the All-Star game, but he was very good in the preseason, and I feel like he's going to carry that form for his club as captain of the Dogs forward, and he'll win the Brownlow. Another X on this one, I had Bontempelli winning the Brownlow medal. Of course, as we all know, Lachie NEALE won it with a runaway season. Probably would have got record votes had it not been only 17 rounds or 18 rounds, but gee, what a year Lachie NEALE had. So another cross from me on those predictions. Next prediction though, the Coleman medal. Who did I think was going to win that? Surely I'm due to get one of these predictions, right? The astronaut, Aaron Naughton, I believe, is going to win the Coleman medal this year. The Dogs are going to have so much scoring capabilities up forward, got to pump it up, and I think Aaron Naughton will pump it up. Well, I had Aaron Naughton winning the Coleman, so that's a bit disappointing there, isn't it? Another cross for me. Alright, so we've got a few wrong in a row, but who do we think is going to rise up the ladder? Did we get this right? I mean, you probably would... I don't know. Surely. Come on, Dino. I'm better than this. I personally think saying Melbourne is set to rise is a bit of a cop-out because they finished second last year, which you can't really go any lower than that. So they're obviously probably going to go up a couple of spots at least, you'd expect. But I think that's
North Melbourne may be set to rise.
Or you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Dean, what are you saying? North Melbourne finished second last. Ah! Alright, come on. You can't be any worse than this. You've had North to rise. You've had Norton to win the Coleman. Surely you predict someone's going to fall properly.
A team going downhill, a team that is going to fall. I think Geelong.
Oh, that was a terrible prediction. But look, I did say Geelong would still make the finals, so I knew they were going to go down a little bit. And technically, they finished first last year on the ladder, and they finished fourth this year on the ladder. So technically, they went down. Technically. And yes, I know they were leading by 22 points in the second quarter of the grand final. But technically, come on.
This next one is a bit of another weird prediction because of the bizarre season. This one is going to be, how many wins do I think that the worst team in the finals will have? So obviously we're going to be playing 17 games each, or that's what we're expecting. We're not expecting to play 22 games each. We're expecting to play 17 games each across this 153 game fixture. And I think that if you win, I think there might be a team that makes the final 8 that finish 9 wins, 7 losses, and a draw. I think that is going to be the lowest wins that will get you into the finals. That's 38 points. I feel like if you've got 10 wins, you are locked into the finals. But I feel like we'll have a team, 9 wins, 7 losses, and a draw make the finals. Mark my words. I feel like it's happening. Can we bring back the draws this year? The year of the draw, please.
Finally, I got something right. This time with how would you make the top 8? And it was Collingwood, of course, who finished with 9 wins, 7 losses, and a draw. Dean gets it right. Genius. Absolute genius. Can't believe I've done it. Big tick there.
When and where will we see the grand final? Now, personally, I'd like to hope we're going to see the grand final in September, at the end of September, maybe even earlier if we actually get through all the games somehow this year. But I think the grand final will happen on the 7th of November 2020, and it will happen at Marvel Stadium.
Look, I did bugger that up because I thought, yes, it's going to stay in Melbourne. It didn't end up staying in Melbourne. The World Cup didn't happen, so they didn't really have no choices other than Marvel Stadium to play it. It was at the Gabba this year, we know that. And it happened on the 24th of October, so I was a couple of weeks late on my predictions, but not too far off the money. But it's still wrong. It's still an X. Incorrect. Again.
You might have to play an interstate final this year. That's how bizarre this season is going to be.
I will add one point here. I did say you might have to play an interstate final this year, given it's a home game. Now, I think in my head that was a way like non-Victorian teams will have to play in Melbourne. But by the end of it, it was Victorian teams needing to play in Queensland. So I'll give myself a mini tick for that slightly random prediction that ended up being true.
I'm going to go with Raoul as my rising star.
Now, I said Matt Ralph the rising star, giving myself a minor tick here, but also a minor cross. Because, Dean, you didn't see the draft. You just had a guess. You just said pick one. Yes, he got the most Brownlow votes. He didn't win the rising star. It's a cop-out. So, it's a no from me. You don't get a point there. Why am I arguing with myself?
How likely are we actually to get 153 game season done and get a premier? I give it a 7 out of 10 chance, maybe an 8 out of 10. The reality is there's so much unknown going forward. We don't know what is going to happen this year at all. I could just have a membership card and I scan it at my front door to watch the TV for the game. I might never get to go to a game this year.
Well, I was right there because I didn't get to go to a game this year and I paid my full membership. And I didn't get to go to a game this year. That was really sad. I did say we were an 8 out of 10 shot at actually getting the season done. And we did. We got the season done. We got through it, which at the start of the year, especially when it got delayed, seemed like it was very far-fetched. So the fact we got a season done, you can argue about whether it was an asterisk year or not, but I think the only way it could have been is if maybe Brisbane had won it or Port Adelaide had won it, because they would have had such an advantage playing their home finals compared to the other teams that didn't get that opportunity. But the fact that two sides from Victoria, who were up in Queensland in hubs, made the grand final. I think we can definitely say it's been a hard-fought year and a well-earned year. All right, so that was it for my 2020 predictions video. A weird season, yes. A successful season from a Richmond point of view, yes. And I think for everyone in Melbourne who's been locked up for the past 200 plus days, football has been so good to just have some sort of normality this year, and fingers crossed that we get back to normality quicker rather than later. I can go to the football next year, and hopefully we see some really cracking games back with the 20-minute quarters. Bring them back. Bring them back. And more games, but no frenzies. I'm not a fan of the frenzies. And as for the grand final, bring it back to the day. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the footy this year. Go the Mighty Tigers. All hail Dustin Martin, and have a good one. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.